What up, fam? Platinum Prince here. It's been quite a few years since he's last seen me on YouTube. I decided to, celebrate Friday the 13th by coming back on YouTube. So now there's lots of catching up to do in the TCG world, political world, blah, 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 all that jazz. But tonight I'm going to do something special. I've never actually done this, but this has been on my mind for a bit to spice things up a bit. Tonight we're going to talk about the legendary Sam De La Rosa and his Venom Lethal Protector. So this is a 9.9 graded homage of a Venom Lethal Protector #1. It's an art book, and I'll get to the details of it, but probably first start off, you can tell I'm a rookie at this, but hey. So, right, what is Venom? So the audience was wondering, what is Venom Lethal Protector? Who's Sam De La Rosa star? So let me explain. So Venom Lethal Protector, and I'll show the books again, came out in 1992. It's a 6-part series of Venom transitioning into an anti-hero. I'm not going to give too many spoilers. I want the audience to read it for themselves. But it's basically a cool interaction of Venom going around town, uncovering secrets of this underground city beneath LA, and also his encounters with Spider-Man, and also his internal conflict as Eddie Brock, who's, if you guys watch, the Tom Hardy Venom, or if you watch, the animated Spider-Man animated series, which is what I love. That's the basic premise. It is a great read. You can either buy physical books, various locations, or go online, read it for free. And I want to also say thank you to Sam De La Rosa and also his staff for all their support they give me as I visit them throughout Florida, even Texas now. So they're probably wondering if I'm going to bug them in every state. I'll try not to. Well, maybe. But that's beside the point. So what makes this really cool? So let me give the background. So when it comes to comics, those of you who are not as familiar, I'm still learning this industry. I come from a Pokemon background. So as you guys know, Pokemon cards, my Pokemon lovers, or even Magic the Gatherings, there's variants of value, versus the holo card, the non-holo, the etch foils, all those other variants you can think of. You trading card players know it in now. Comics have just as many type of variants, if not more. So here's what's really cool about this one. So I live in the city, beautiful Orlando. Sam decided to go to a cool convention called SiestaCon in Sarasota, Florida. Inspired by the waters of the Siesta Keys, Sam decided, you know what, let me do this. I'm going to make a 50 limited run of a art book commemorating his artwork throughout his time as a comic artist. So that's what this is. This is actually an art book, but the cover is a homage or tribute, if you want a similar term, to the first cover of Venom Lethal Protector #1, which is, as far as I know from talking to individuals and reading it myself, issue #1 is the most popular of the 6-issue series. They're all great though. Read them all when you have a time. I really enjoy it, but enjoy it for yourself. So anyway, back to this. So here's what's cool. So Sam and his team are really smart about their marketing and advertising. So a couple of things they do. Those of you who are resellers, comic book stores, individuals, or just secondary market people, you're out there watching eBay and comps. I'll get that in a sec. Sam did inspired by Siesta Keys, a 50 limited run of this. So you may ask, well, how do you know it's 50? Great question, audience. I'll try to zoom in closer, so bear with me. If you look at the bottom, from the viewer's point of view, it's the bottom left. And my apologies, I'm still new to the YouTube world. It is numbered. The number to the left is 50, so this is out of 50. And I got lucky to get number 10. I just randomly bought actually I have 3 of them. I just randomly bought them, and I was gifted 10 as the first one of the 3 that I bought. And I love it because 10 is actually my favorite number. So I wanted to make this special. So here's what I did. So not only is this already a limited cover, I wanted to get it, thanks to the gracefulness of Sam, get it signed, a quote, and a remark. A remark is basically, those who are not familiar, an artist sketch. I'll be moving closer. The remark is probably hard to see on my iPhone, but hey, they'll work, is there's a white outline of Venom, the Sam De La Rosa signature, and a quote that says, "We are Venom." Those of you who've seen the movie series or watched any of the animated series Spider-Man, that's a common quote. But here's what's really cool about this. So I actually got this CGC Witness. What does that mean? So that means that when I got this signed and remarked by the legend Sam himself, I had a CGC employee actually observe the signature and writing occur. So people say, so what? The so what is those of you who want like the authentication, like kind of like PSA, those of you who are the sports card, Pokemon card lovers or Magic, it is PSA is to sports and Pokemon as CGC. They do cards as well, but CGC is arguably the juggernaut in comics. So this is like the creme de la creme of situation. Here's what's also really cool, is if you, so it's hard to see, so bear with me. On the yellow label, it says CGC Signature Series. That means it was first witnessed. Has a different verbiage if you just get it authenticated without someone observing it, which is still fine. But CGC Witness is stronger because there's a physical body that saw you, versus if you get it signed somewhere else and then send it off later, that's fine, it's up to you. But this is what comic book collectors love. But what's also neat is the CGC grading scale is basically the same as PSA, a 1 being poor and a 10 being gem mint. I got lucky that this came out to a 9.9. You can see that on the top right. What's really cool about that is that I've done my research and I was aware that a 9.9, now I love a perfect 10, I mean, who wouldn't? But even a 9.9 is actually, even for the modern comics coming out today, it's difficult to get that grade. So, especially I got all the works in it. By the works, I mean my remark, sketch, signature. I'm very, very lucky to receive this, and it's personal to me because, A, my favorite number, and I forgot to mention earlier, is what I also love about the blue background. The few of you know me, I actually grew up in the Black Sea area of Romania, my home country. So this actually almost feels like it was made for me, this blue water homage. I really love it. So let's talk secondary market. This is what a lot of you want to know. So I will say I've been following eBay. The only two sales I've seen is, and I even have an example, is I've seen an unsigned version. So this is just the comic as it is, no signature, no nothing. This one specifically is numbered, I forgot, 14 out of 50, still pretty cool. Well, this variant, no signature, no nothing, sold on eBay I think it was May 12th for $140. If you were to buy it at the SiestaCon convention at the table, these were only $40 a pop. So the person who resold it for $40, $100 profit, you've, let's see, tripled your money. That's about now granted there's shipping and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to factor it in. I'm just going to make easy numbers. You have that's about a 300% gain, which is massive, and just one flip. Yes, no, you're not a millionaire. Obviously with one comic flip, but that shows how strong the secondary market is. Now, here's what's also interesting though. I saw on June 11th, there was a sale. I'll go back to Dawn of a signed cover of this. The grade was 9.6, and there was a signature, CGC Witness, still very good. 9.6 is still excellent grade. It's signed and witnessed by CGC themselves. That one only sold, though, I was surprised to see, $170. So here's what I was thinking. Now, it's only 2 data points, so bear in mind. $140 for the non-graded, and then the individual sold his graded and signed for $170. Now, here's the thing. I'll just clarify is, and I'll just pick on myself. So yes, I paid only $40 for the comic. Keep in mind, to get the quote, to get the quote, remark, and sketch, that to me was an additional $100. Also, I had to get it sent to CGC. I did the cheapest 30-day turnaround. That was about, let me see, sorry, I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna say the high end was 70. I'm just gonna pick on that. So 70 plus 105 is, or 100, just make it easy number, 170 plus comment. So I'm in $210 on this. Now, I haven't checked the pop report, which I should have, but I believe, unless someone correct me, Sam or his team or anyone out there who like lives and breathes this stuff, this may be the highest copy, or the highest graded copy of this variant. So if I had to put a ballpark number of this, like I said, I'm biased, so bear that in mind. 9.9, quote, remark, signature. I'll say 1,000, you know, because of how exclusive it is, rarity, it's unique cover. He sold out of these, by the way, so if you try to message Sam, no, you're not gonna, no, he's not gonna just make more. That's not how it works. Oh, by the way, every convention he goes to, you can look up on his website. I'm actually gonna have his website at the bottom of this video. He goes all across the USA, and I think he's going this weekend. By the time you watch this, it'll be already occurring. Is like to a Caribbean Gaming Expo. Or Puerto Rico, I forgot which one, whatever. He does travel a little bit outside of the continental USA, but yeah, it's mostly within the United States. He travels around. But the point I'm getting at, he does convention exclusives at each one. So if, let's say, you're a store with tens of thousands of dollars to burn and you honestly want to make quick flips, now I know it's, you know, it's, everybody should get a quote unquote a fair chance, but hey, you have the deep pockets, who's going to stop you? Yes, you can buy his convention exclusives and double, triple, heck, even quadruple your profits. I mean, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but as far as I see on eBay is I even have his members talk. I overheard them say that, yeah, that some there within the day of within the day of the convention, they see their limited exclusives just resell for double, triple the same night. Like I said, not a guarantee, but it does occur. So that's on that one. And the other version I have is, thanks to bought this also at CS Concourse, is I got the Gator Guard Comics Protect Gator Guard comics. This was a holder, and I have it signed by Sam. This one I did not get. Keep in mind, this was already signed before I purchased it, so I can't get the CGC signature. But I'm not gonna send this one in for authentication. This is just more. I really like the protector Gator Guard on it, and it's also number 14, another low number. I did ask specifically, could I buy number 1? I was told no, but hey, you know what? Everyone's got to try. So that's what I have on this video. Not too much else to say except, you know, once again, thank you, Sam and the team, for like being supportive. And I have more than this. I have more than the 3 I just showed you guys. It's just that I wanted to do some. I wanted to talk about that specific one because it's beautiful. But keep in mind, my closing thoughts overall is Venom Lethal Protector, the series, came out in '92. It's been over 30 years, and there's still people who buy the original comics, from even the ones that were mass printed or printed to oblivion, if you want the trading card term, back in the day, that they still buy. Now, they're not as expensive as ones that are more short printed, you know, but that's something that kind of struck me. Is you can go on eBay yourself and check. There's like the red, probably the most common, just bear with me, I'm still learning all this, is Venom Lethal Protector 1, the red holographics cover. That had a bunch of copies from like 93, I believe. But they still sell on eBay. I've seen 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks. Sometimes, you know, with the signature remark from Sam, it, you know, it depends, the grading, condition, there's all sorts of variables. But to me, that's impressive. A series that is long over, but it still has a steady secondary market. And it's so popular that Sam still makes homages or tributes of the different. He doesn't just do issue 1. He sometimes does issue cover 2 or 3, but issue 1 is what most of you guys will recognize. But he goes to all these conventions, and I do still see people buy his old stuff from way back in the day, just because they love the story, they love the artist. And keep in mind, guys, Sam does sign a lot of it, but he also is, I say, in my opinion, kind of like a hidden gem. Like, it's like this. Everyone loved, back in the day, Stan Lee. But here's the thing. His signatures were across everywhere and everything. Yes, there's some expensive stuff. And yes, Stan Lee is passed away a bit ago. But what I'm saying, in terms of secondary market, there's also a lot of still cheap stuff, because his thing was, I don't want to say ubiquitous, but just everywhere and anywhere you can almost think of how many comics. While Sam does sign a lot, it still feels special and unique because of his popularity, and also how even among other comic book creators, they call him a legend. That's why I started the video off like that. I've had other comic book artists say that Sam is a legend in his field. So, and I see it for myself. I look at how the fans approach him. I look how they talk to him. He respects everyone, and his work does speak for himself. So, I mean, Sam, I know you can still see him at conventions year after year, but what I'm saying is there will be a point, maybe he just is tired of going to all these conventions, and then once, he stops signing and maybe moves on to other things, then even the covers that were back in the day, once those are dried up and like he's not signing anymore, I could see a rise in prices. Now, it will take time. I'm not, like I said, don't try to buy take out a $10,000 loan or more, or lien your house just to buy Venom Lethal Protector 1. Well, except maybe if you want to get this cover for me. Nah, I'm not selling. Okay, maybe like on Facebook page, you've offered me $1 million, but who's going to do that? Well, if you are, just message me and I'll, give you my email and contact. But that beside the point. Yeah, rambled on too long. But basically, yeah, that's my Friday the 13th video. I'm going to try to do more stuff. I'll see if I could do a video a day. No promises. But thank you guys, and I hope you have a great Friday.